and interested by a remark about justice and injustice. Allow me to just tell you just 1 minute that I have been teaching law at my university. I'm a career diplomat just before I came here, but I'm an amateur professor of law and jurisprudence in international law, and I have been teaching what is justice, what is injustice, or something. So I'm very much impressed by Ishida Mitsunari saying this is something the war between just and unjust. I don't necessarily agree with you what he was trying to say in the movie, or what you're trying to depict him in saying that, but nonetheless I was very much impressed by that. And also the traitor is been, well, of course I read the novel, so I know of the story, but I think, frankly speaking, to tell you the truth, that it's the first time to see your movie, and I'm more kind of impressed than when the time when I was reading the novel. So I very much express my deep appreciation to you. But tell me something about your notion, how you put that much emphasis upon the notion of just and unjust, and traitor, somebody loyal to the power, or to somebody who, not everybody was expecting him to win this war battle, but I think because of the game, not because of the sense of justice or injustice or something, everybody turned out to be on the side of the power. And that happens everywhere, that happens every time, that happens today, that happens in here, that happens in Tokyo, elsewhere. So if you can tell me something about these two things, I very much appreciate of you. Thank you.
Well, after Sekigahara, I made a film called Killing for the Prosecution. And there, it's a crime movie, and featuring two prosecutors. And one becomes a criminal, killed the murder case suspect, the prosecutor to kill him for justice. So the idea of justice and injustice I keep on making, but the clear difference between Sekigahara's justice and the justice in Killing for the Prosecution. In Sekigahara, I was able to use lots of justice in the dialogue and in the Ishida's lines, because that's the 16th century, and lots of youngsters would listen to the idea or a notion of somebody who keeps saying about justice and injustice. But if it's a contemporary drama, nobody would listen. It becomes too corny. And so, because of this costume play and the period piece, I, kind of maybe too naive to use justice so many times. But I kept asking my crew and cast members, and they liked the way things went on the actual shooting. And so we kept those words, justice and injustice, and just the basic idea is for youngsters who comes to study the Battle of Sekigahara or history for the first time by seeing this film. I wanted them to get used to hear somebody who actually behaved and acted with this idea of justice, or what justice is. And that's kind of practice I think I need for the young generation of Japanese today, because not so many youngsters are talking about what's right and what's wrong, and they just do whatever they want to do. And so, well, answering to Ambassador Sugiyama's question is something like that I always had in my mind, and so that played a bigger role in this movie, yes.
Thank you. We have time for one more question.